Showing up is not the same as holding yourself to a standard. There are plenty of people who can show up, they can put their body into position of essentially performative growth. I submitted the video. I worked out 3 times a week this week. I sent emails to some prospective clients. I made a video. And when they do that, right, that might lead to growth. But underneath of that is almost this performative collapse. Like, well, I don't want to do it anyways, but if you say this is the thing to do, then I'm just going to show up and do it. We all have places where we've done this, right? But I felt inspired to hop on with you and just share for a second from the heart, where let's not pretend that the vehicle, the modality of keeping a standard, what we show up to, is the point itself. I'm just going to use weight training, right? But this could fit business objectives. This can fit any metric. But let's say that your standard is to set a baseline of performance. So you got to know your max PRs, right? And then you start ratcheting up your progress from there. Sort of gold standard. Where are you starting from? And then progressing from that place. But you have to be honest about where you're starting from. So sometimes, like, one way of gaming this, for example, is to not push yourself in setting those PRs, not actually being honest about the baseline. So you showed up to the workout, maybe you even filmed it or you took notes, right? And it kind of felt hard, so you just assume that's where you're starting from. But in truth, you don't really know because you didn't actually set it at your current ceiling. And so any progress built from that, any metrics built from that, is built on kind of a fake foundation. So this is pretty basic stuff, right? Because just showing up to the workout and lifting weights and putting them back down, that wasn't the point. The point was maybe you're building athletic prowess, or you're working on body composition, or your first pull-up, or increasing your squats, or learning to sprint faster. Those are all measurable aims. So showing up to the workout, that's the vehicle, but that's not the end game itself. But we do this thing as humans where we have a performative show up. See, I showed up. So if I don't get the results, they were out of my control, maybe genetics or whatever. Which is a way of abdicating real ownership of the process. I'm going to contrast this, and I'm going to shift from physical training into business, right? Because this will show up here too. Well, I'm not making the money that I want. So yeah, I send emails. So yeah, I sent like 20 emails to people, invited people to stuff. Technically, again, showing up, but not realizing emailing people means nothing. The whole point is connection, authenticity, curiosity, finding out where people in your field are struggling and then how you're meeting them with your service or the way that you support, and then communicating that gap. And so sometimes when I was coaching hard business, and sometimes I still do this in our private accelerators within the Prestige, it's a show me. Show me your contacts. Show me your emails. Show me your calendar. Because we're like, I'm showing up. Yeah, but showing up is the vehicle towards something else, which is what you really want. In that case, maybe sales or growth. So we actually also have to look at the quality of those emails. We have to look at the metrics of what you're tracking in how much money you're proposing versus just yeses or nos, right? So there is so much BS, the way that we all BS ourselves, that hides in the gray, these little margins, the ways that we try to use our intelligence to find loopholes, rather than bring our intelligence to an openness to track, to show up, right? But to show up towards the end that we're driving to bring our curiosity, to bring our hunger or ambition. And that's actually what moves the needle, not just floppy showing up. So consider this a riff fresh from the field, as a master coach. May it support you. May it support the way that you support clients. And if you're interested in more like this, like and subscribe. That's what I've got for you today.